fellow practitioners, 同修们，大家晚上好。Welcome to Channeling Clean Dust, the online Zen practice presented to you by Guanyin Channeling Zen Meditation Center, Singapore. 欢迎大家上线来到禅林洗尘，由观音禅林新加坡为您呈现的禅修。This evening, Chanling's Abbot Gemun Sunim, also known as Venerable Tribune, will continue to lead us to deep dive into the 72 episode of the Diamond Sutra, as well as the 37 part of Great Master Yongjia, Song of Enlightenment. After the Dharma talk, we shall have a question and answer session, and we warmly welcome you to use this session to seek clarification and guidance from 师父。那今晚禅林住持寂文法师将会继续的带领大家深入的探讨第72期的《金刚经》，以及第37期的永嘉大师正道歌。佛法开示之后呢，我们将进入问答环节。我们诚意的欢迎您应用这个问答环节的平台，向师父请教佛法。We shall start this evening by meditatively chanting a part of the Diamond Prajna Paramita Sutra. 那我们将以诵念一段《金刚经》的经文来开始今晚的禅修。波罗蜜经，如是我闻。 在身为国，其属击鼓度元，欲得比丘宗，千那百无十人居，20世尊，世世作一世钵，如手为大乘其事，于其乘宗，持地其一，观之本处，半世其手一钵，悉足以复作而作。是者能须菩提者得种种，即从作起，偏得有见有细作地合掌恭敬，而拜佛言：昔有世尊。上护念祖菩萨，上复祖菩萨，世尊善男子，善女人，巴那妙多罗三藐三菩提心，云何应足，云何降伏其心？佛言：善哉善哉，须菩提，如说如来上护念祖菩萨，上复祖菩萨，如今谛听，当为如说。善男子，善女人，巴那妙多罗三藐三菩提心，应如是足，如是降伏其心。唯然世尊愿乐欲闻，佛告须菩提，祖菩萨摩诃萨，应如是降伏其心。若有一切众生之力，若卵生，若胎生，若湿生，若化生，若有色，若无色，若有相，若无相，若非有相，若非无相，我皆令入无余涅槃那灭度之。如是灭度无量无数无边众生，是无众生得灭度者，何以故？须菩提，若菩萨有我相、人相、众生相、寿者相，即非菩萨。故此须菩提，菩萨于法应无所住，行于不实，说为不足舍不实，不足身相为粗法不实。须菩提，菩萨应如是不实，不足于相，何以故？若不舍不足相不实，其福德不可思量。须菩提，于意云何？东方虚空可思量，不言世尊。须菩提，南西北方，四维上下虚空可思量，不言世尊。须菩提，菩萨无足相不实，不得一复如是，不可思量。须菩提，菩萨得宁如所教述。体于云何？可以身相见如来，不言世尊。不可以身相得见如来，何以故？如来说身相，即非身相。佛告须菩提，凡所有相，皆是虚妄。若见诸相非相，即见如来。须菩提，白佛言：世尊，颇有众生得闻如是言所赞句，甚是幸怖。佛告须菩提，莫作是说。如来灭后500岁，有持戒修福者，于此赞句能生信心，以此为是感知世人。不于离佛的佛身，是无佛的众生根，于无量千万佛说种足善根，闻是赞句乃至一念生净心者，须菩提，如来悉知悉见，是诸众生得如是无量福德。何以故？是诸众生无复我相、人相、众生相、寿者相，无法相，亦无非法相。何以故？是诸众生若心取相， 即为作我人众生受者，若取法相，即作我人众生受者。一故若取非法相，即作我人众生受者。是故不应取法，不应取非法。以是理故，如来常说：汝等比丘知我说法，如法语者法善应舍，何况非法？须菩提，云何如来的那妙多罗三藐三菩提言？如来有说法言，须菩提言：如我切佛说已，无有定法名那妙多罗三藐三菩提，亦无有定法，如来可说何以故？如来说法，皆不可取，不可说，非法非法，说一者何？一切现象皆以无为法。有差别。Thank you everyone for chanting and reciting a part of the Diamond Prajnaparamita Sutra. 谢谢大家一起来念诵一段《金刚经》的经文。Fellow practitioners, please may I invite you to place your palms together. 同学们，请大家合掌，并向师父以问讯 and please greet 师父 with a sitting bow.
谢谢大家，今晚上线到禅林虚城。
Thank you everyone for coming online this evening to Chanling Clean Dust.
也感谢我们今晚的团队，包括明峰刚刚努力去进修，未来继续为上线服务。
So we would like to thank tonight's working team, especially Ming Fong, who has been practicing hard in a retreat and now he is back to continue to serve the online Dharma.
很高兴今晚又可以在这里跟大家一起来学习佛法《金刚经》，以及永嘉大师正道歌。
So I'm most delighted that this evening I can come here together with all of you to continue to learn the Buddha Dharma, the Diamond Sutra, and Yongjia Great Master Song of Enlightenment.
我们继续来学习《金刚经》。
So let us continue with the Diamond Sutra.
须菩提，佛说般若波罗蜜，则非般若波罗蜜。
Subhuti, the Buddha expounded Prajna Paramita. It is not Prajna Paramita.
须菩提，以因何如来有所说法不？
Subhuti, what does this mean? Does the Tascam have any Dharma to expound or not?
须菩提，白佛言：世尊，如来无所说。
Subhuti said to the Buddha, the World-Honored One, the Tascam expounded nothing.
这段经文要我们回归到我们的性体。
So this verse in the sutra is calling upon us to return to the substance of our original nature.
以正性体，必当离名言之相。
To wish to attain the substance of original nature, it is necessary to cast aside the forms of name and speech.
念不离这名言之相，终不能离也。
Where thoughts are not discarded, then the forms of name and speech ultimately cannot be discarded.
起尊论新真如门中有一段文可以证明。
In the discourse on giving rise to faith, mind the door of true suchness, there is such a session which can prove this.
若离心念，则无一切境觉实相。
The discourse says, if thoughts of the mind are left on their own, then there are no forms of all the realms.
又因离言所相，离名日相，离心缘相。
It also says, where forms of speech are left on their own, forms of name and word are left on their own, forms of conditions in the mind are left on their own.
毕竟平等乃至唯是一心，故名真如。
Ultimately, there is equality until there is only one mind, hence the name true suchness.
此文中真如其性体之别名也。
The text here about true suchness, which is another name for the substance of original nature.
离言所相三句，归众于离心缘相于己。
These three sentences from forms of speech are left on their own onwards. The most important is this sentence, forms of conditions in the mind are left on their own.
此句即是离念之语。
The sentence means thoughts are left on their own.
盖言作攀缘，
Conditions are cravings for conditions.
心缘即是起心动念。
Conditions of the mind, that is the mind that rises with fluttering thoughts.
心念若动，必有所攀缘，
If the
必若
mind,
以名之相也。
if the mind flutters with thoughts, of course there are cravings for some conditions. Therefore, it gets caught by the forms of name and word.
而言说者，心自生也。
Furthermore, speech, that is the sound of the mind.
心必先言以所以言辞，而后达中言辞。
The mind must, first of all, be conditioned by the desire to talk. Then it goes ahead to make all the speeches and phrases.
故心念若动，又若以言说相应。
Hence, if the mind flutters with thoughts, once again it gets caught by the forms of speech.
故三句中离心言相继四种。
Therefore, of the three sentences, the sentence, forms of conditions of the mind are left on their own is primary.
心言相离，然后明日言说之相皆离。
Leave behind the forms of conditions of the mind, then names and words, speeches, such forms are all left on their own.
所以论文上记，若离心念，则无一切境界之相继相应。
This, together with the earlier sentence in the discourse, if thoughts of the mind are left on their own, then there are no forms of all the realms. The sentences connect together.
离心念，便无一切境界相。
Where thoughts of the mind are left on their own, then there are no forms of all realms.
所以离心言相，便毕竟平等。
Hence, forms of conditions of the mind are left on their own. Ultimately, that is equality.
唯是一心，而名真如也。
And only one mind, and the name for this is true suchness.
由此论义以真经义，
With these teachings of the discourse as evidence for the teachings in the sutra,
这此中令离名言相持，
they guide us to keep at casting aside forms of name and speech.
悲即是离心念修持不，
That is none other but to guide us to cultivate and keep at discarding thoughts of the mind.
论中又引他经云：
The discourse also cites another sutra which says,
人观无念者，则为相佛智。
those who can meditate on no thought is inclined to Buddha wisdom.
佛智即是般若波罗蜜。
Buddha wisdom, that is prajna paramita.
故知《金刚般若波罗蜜经》
Hence, this diamond prajna paramita sutra,
当如是断其着明日演说之攀岩，妄想而奉持也。
we should, just like this, cut off attachment to names, words, speeches, which is cravings for conditions and delusive thinking, and thereby defer to and keep at it.
此以是名者汝当奉持之所以然也。
That is, with such a name, you should defer to and keep at it. These are the reasons.
其圣论又云：
The discourse on giving rise to faith also says,
当知染法、净法皆悉相待。
know that be it tainted Dharma, pure Dharma, all are known in relativity.
无有自相可说。
There are no forms of self to speak of.
是故一切法从本以来，非色非心。
Hence, all Dharma is, since the origin, of no form, no mind,
非知非识，
of no intellect, no consciousness,
非有非无，毕竟不可说相。
of no existence, no non-existence, ultimately of no forms to speak of.
而有言说者，当知如来上巧方便。
Furthermore, indeed there were speeches, so one should know that the Taskam was skillful in using suitable means.
加以言说，引导众生。
He assumed to speak so as to induct and guide sentient beings.
其执起者，皆为理念归于真如。
His intents and teachings were all for thoughts to be left on their own, return to true suchness.
以念一切法，令心是灭，不入死之谷。
By thinking of all phenomenon, the mind is caused to rise and cease. As such, it does not get into true wisdom.
此节论文更好引来为此两颗经文做讲。
This part of this discourse is even more appropriate to be used to annotate on these two verses in the sutra.
此请示名此一大颗，关系紧要。
This big section on asking for the name and showing how to keep at it is of critical importance.
今当在以此借论文详细作词，以其测量。
Now, we will again use this part of the discourse. By elaborating on it meticulously, hopefully this bring forth thorough realization.
以道理洞明，来人观照用功。
One must be completely clear on the rationale so that one can put in effort on meditative reflection.
想为诸公所言闻也。
This is for all of you who want to listen.
先做非色非心，
Let's first talk about no form, no mind,
非知非识，
no wisdom, no consciousness,
非有非无三句。
No existence, no non-existence, these 3 sentences.
非色色日，盖有表色无表色也。
The word form in no form includes with form of appearance, with no form of appearance.
有表色者，谓有形可指之法。
With form of appearance refers to the Dharma with an image that can be pointed out.
无表色，谓无形可指之法。
No form of appearance refers to the Dharma with no image that can be pointed out.
此种种法，无论有表无表，本无次第。
These various Dharma, regardless if they have an appearance or no appearance, originally they do not have a separate individual substance.
体为世性，故也非色。
The only substance is mind, hence the saying, no form.
然不过为心所现而已，实非心也，故有也非心。
However, only due to the mind, thus they appear. In truth, there is no mind too, hence we also say, no mind.
非知之子，即为性知。
The wisdom of no wisdom, that refers to the wisdom of nature.
性体平等空寂，即有诸法。
The substance of nature is of equality, emptiness, and stillness. How will there be all kinds of Dharma?
故也非知。
Hence the saying, no wisdom.
然则诸法是乎？
However, is all Dharma the consciousness itself?
昔之不过是心现起而不能为诸法辨识是也。
It is necessary to know they merely appear in the mind consciousness. So, we cannot say that all Dharma is consciousness.
故有也非是。
Hence the saying, no consciousness.
非有非无者，因缘集合，实有诸法发生，非无也。
No existence, no non-existence is the gathering together of causes and conditions. It seems like there are indeed the occurrences of all Dharma, thus no non-existence.
即为延伸，乃是幻想，非有也。
Since they are of condition co-arising, so they are elusive forms, thus no existence.
此三句总为一切诸法，不过彼此相待相行。
These 3 sentences collectively refers to all the various Dharma, that they are merely relative to one another in terms of forms and images.
虽是有而实无，当体即空。
Although they seem to exist, in truth, they do not. Upon the substance, they are empty.
以说明其上文当知染法、净法皆心相待。
This is to elucidate on the above writings that we should know that tainted Dharma, pure Dharma, all are relative.
无有自相可说之意而已。
There are no existence of separate individual forms to talk about. That's what it means.
当知般若亦是依彼诸法相行，名为般若。
We should know that prajna is also relative to all the forms and images of Dharma. In this way, it is given the name prajna.
以一切法衍生幻有，本无自相。
As all Dharma are illusory forms from condition co-arising, originally no separate individual forms.
岂有自相可说？
How can we say they have separate individual forms?
安可执着名日相？
How can we latch on and attach to the forms of name and word?
故曰：般若则非般若，
Hence the saying, Prajna is not Prajna.
且佛正真如实之故。
Furthermore, the Buddha has attained true suchness and the wisdom of true equality.
自然而说，是无言说思想。
Although he expounded zealously, in truth, there are no forms of speech.
故曰：如来无所说。
Therefore, the saying that the task come expounded nothing.
但为众生故，加以言说引导，令其理念正信。
Only for the sake of sentient beings, he assumed to talk in order to lead and guide so that we would discard thoughts and attain original nature.
有时可知经中业般若非般若，令理明日相。
From this it can be known where the sutra says Prajna is not Prajna, that is to lead us to discard forms of names and speech.
又曰：无所说，令理言所相者。
It also says expounded nothing, that is to lead us to discard forms of speech.
其宗旨非为意令大众理念归于真如乎？
Its main purpose is none other than to lead the masses to discard thoughts and return to true suchness.
然这所谓奉持者，
However, what is referred to as defer to and keep at it is
为当奉持金刚断除妄念，亦可知矣。
is referring to defer to and keep at the diamond which cuts off and break through delusive thoughts. So this be known.
见令明了无有定法，是亲我见之也。
The earlier saying that once there is complete clarity on there is no fixed dharma, which is to clear out the source of my viewpoint.
今令破除攀缘妄想，是在我见之流也。
Now this says, break through cravings for conditions and illusory thinking, which is to end the flow of my viewpoint.
事观上引论文最后书记引，
Try to meditate on the last few sentences cited from the discourse earlier.
以念一切法令心生灭，不入实之故。
By thinking of all phenomenon, the mind is caused to rise and cease. As such, it does not get into true wisdom.
实之即为现体，
True wisdom, that is substance of original nature.
可见性本无念。
Nature originally has no thought.
亦正性体，非锻炼不可以。
To wish to attain the substance of nature, there is no other way but to cut through thought.
又可见起念即是生灭性。
Furthermore, it can be seen that as thought rises, that is the mind of rising and extinguishing.
应有生灭之性，主张生死之果。
As that is a mind that arises and extinguishes, that attracts the fruits of birth and death.
若不锻炼，又何能了生死乎？
If thoughts are not broken through, how to be liberated from birth and death?
然而一切众生从本理来，念念相继， 未曾理念。
However, all sentient beings, since the origin, continuously have thought after thought, never discarding thoughts.
谓之无始无明，
Hence the saying of beginningless ignorance.
无明者不觉也。
Ignorance is unawakened.
因不觉故起也。
As unawakened, hence thought arises.
因何不觉？
How does it unawaken?
所以不大一法解故。
What is referred to as unable to attain the realm of one Dharma.
为不了达十法界理事唯一真如同体平等。
Unable to attain the truth of the matter about the realm of the ten Dharma, the one and only true suchness, the equality of same substance.
此之谓不觉，
This is what is referred to as unawakened.
即不觉之平等同体诸而动念。
That is unawakened to the equality of the same substance, hence moved by thoughts.
念动而能见所见随自一起。
Moved by thoughts, following that, able to see and what is seen arise.
故有人我差别之相。
Hence, there are differences in forms of person and self.
由此而分别不断，起着计较。
From this, and without breaking through, differentiating, grasping, attaching, comparing,
造种种业，遭种种苦。
one goes on to make all kinds of karma, attract all kinds of pain.
又复辗转心起果案为因，因更受果。
Furthermore, they go on to imbue fruit, returns to cause. Cause bears more fruit.
一迷一生，沉沦不返也。
The more the confusion gets entrenched, degenerate to the point of no return.
今以返本还言，故必须从根本解决，以断其念。
Now, to wish to return to the origin and recover the source, therefore, it is necessary to resolve it from the original root, which is to break through one's thought.
难哉难哉！
Difficult, difficult.
因其难也，故我世尊为说种种方便法门。
As this is difficult, hence our world-honored one expounded various suitable Dharma gates
令其随顺得路。
to lead us to follow and find a way in easily.
如上所以人观无念者，则为入佛之一方便之也。
For example, just as cited above, those who can meditate on no thought is inclined to Buddha wisdom. That is one of the suitable means.
此时无病生死关头，只要知其至此。
This is about our critical moments of life and death, the matter of utmost importance and urgency.
亦是本经所令奉持着。
It is also what this sutra is driving at when it says, defer to and keep at it.
不敢谈法，更为受其方便。
How will we dare to avoid troublesome inconvenience? All the more, we have to speak about the suitable means.
其之观无念三字，故是方便。
It is necessary to know, meditate on no thought. These words are indeed suitable means?
而迎合观法，
What are the methods to meditate on it?
乃悉得有方便，乃能取观。
It is still necessary to have suitable means in order to start meditating on it.
念无面法门，人观无念者，这为相佛智。
The Dharma gates of no thought. Those who can meditate on no thought is inclined to Buddha wisdom.
禅宗修行经常讲空、无相、无厌法门。
In Zen practice, we often talk about emptiness, formless, the Dharma gate of no vows.
六祖讲佛智法门是无念法门，
The sixth patriarch said, this Dharma gate of ours is the Dharma gate of no thought.
什么叫无念？
What is no thought?
无念就是讲自性没有念头的。
No thought means to say that original nature is without thought.
自性没有念头，是不是说我修到一念不生？
Original nature has no thought. Is it saying that we have to cultivate until not a single thought will arise?
这就是自性无念呢？
Is this the original nature that is without thought?
不是的。
No.
明白念不属于我，
Be clear that thought is not a part of I.
念是一个影子而已。
Thought is merely a shadow.
我是无念的，
I am without thought.
这才叫无念法门。
Only this is called the Dharma gate of no thought.
很多人对无念的理解不一定对，
Many people do not have the correct understanding of no thought.
认为无念就是不起念的。
They opine that no thought, that this thought will not arise.
六祖讲，
The sixth patriarch said,
我讲的无念，并不是不起念，
the no thought which I refer to is not having no thought arising,
而是起念的时候不把念头当成自己。
rather, when thought arises, do not regard thought as myself.
为什么呢？
Why?
念头是外在的，
Thought is external.
念头不属于我。
Thought is not a part of I.
真正的我是无念的，
True I has no thought.
我就是自性，
I is original nature.
自性具有这些念的功用，
Original nature is endowed with the function of thought,
但也只是具足而已。
but it is merely an endowment.
念的生灭是缘起的，
The rising and extinguishing of thought is from condition co-arising,
就像天上的云彩一样，缘起缘散。
just like the conditioned gathering and conditioned dispersing of clouds in the sky.
急了就是起念，
As they gather, thoughts arise.
散了没有念。
As they disperse, there are no thoughts.
虚空，
Vast emptiness?
虚空不动，
Vast emptiness is unmoving.
念头不是自性起的，
Thought does not arise from original nature.
自性就像虚空，是寂然不动的。
Original nature is just like the vast emptiness. It is still and unmoving.
所以学禅一定要把身心的两重执着去掉。
Therefore, to learn Zen, we must discard the two entrenched attachments of the body and mind.
一个是认为肉体是自己，这个要去掉。
One is to regard this body of flesh as self. This has got to be discarded.
第二个是认为念头是自己， 这个也要去掉。
Second is to regard thought as self. This has got to be discarded too.
禅宗就是破这两重希望，
The Zen tradition is about breaking through these two entrenched delusions.
生的希望和心的希望。
Delusion about the body and delusion about the mind.
人们认为这个肉身是自己，
People regard this body of flesh as myself.
其实这个肉身不是。
Actually, this body of flesh is not.
佛性才是我们的真身，
Only Buddha nature is our true body.
是我们的金刚不坏身。
It is our diamond indestructible body.
肉体是外在的，
This body of flesh is of the outside.
托是我的肉体。
It is my body of flesh.
既然是我的肉体，那就不是我。
Since it is my body of flesh, then it is not me.
你看，就像这本书，
Look, just like this book.
书不是我，但书是我的。
The book is not me, but the book is mine.
我拿来用一下，我又把它放下了。
I use it for a while, then I put it down.
有它，我不会增加什么；
With it, I do not increase in any way.
没有它，我也不会减少什么。
Without it, I do not decrease in any way.
所以有没有它都没有关系了。
As such, with or without it, does not matter.
同样的，肉体也是我的。
Similarly, this body of flesh is also mine.
我的大脑，我的头发，
My brain, my hair,
我的心、肝、脾、肺、肾，
my heart, liver, spleen, lung, kidney.
都是我的。
They are all mine,
但这些不是我。
but these are not I.
我们常犯一个错误的，把这个肉体认为是我。
The common mistake of ours is to treat this body of flesh as I.
这就是生的烦恼。
This is the frustration and anxiety of the body.
还有一个是心的烦恼。
Another one is the frustration and anxiety of the mind.
这个心不是指佛性，
This mind does not refer to Buddha nature.
而是妄想心，
Instead, it is the mind of delusive thinking.
就是把生灭的念头认为是我起的。
That is to regard the arising and extinguishing of thought as being raised by me.
想做做不住，
So thinking of holding on to it, but
就会很
cannot,
烦恼。
but cannot hold on to it, thus very frustrated and anxious.
咱们平常的念头就是和外在的风吹草动是一样的道理。
Our usual thought and the outside movement of wind and grass are of the same principle.
它升起的时候，就像一阵风一样，
When it arises, it is just like a gust of wind,
在你的肉体内换来换去。
scurrying here and there inside of your body.
所以从密宗来讲，
As such, from the perspective of the Tibetan tradition,
念本质上属于风，
the essence of thought is likened to the wind.
但和外在的风区别在哪里呢？
But how does it different from the external wind?
就是你把外在的风吹草动认为是自己的，
That is, you have regarded the external movement of wind and grass as yourself.
加上了一点妄想执着，
and adding onto it a little delusive thinking and attachment.
关键是这种执着
The crux is that this type of attachment
产生了心念和外在的风的区别。
makes a distinction between thought in the mind and the wind outside.
念头既然是外在的，
Since thought are external,
就和外在的风吹草动一样，
just like the external movement of wind and grass,
与我无关，
it has nothing to do with I.
它不属于你自己，
It is not a part of you yourself.
所以你就不要去执着了，
As such, you should not go on to attach to it.
把它放下。
Got to put it down.
如果能够放下，我们就知道知幻即离，离幻即结。
If we can put it down, then we know. Knowing illusion, upon that, leave it. Leave illusion, upon that, be awakened.
下来我们继续来谈永嘉大师正道歌。
Next, we'll continue with the great master Yongjia Song of Enlightenment.
正道歌吟，
The Song of Enlightenment says,
在行禅之界里，
practicing Zen amidst temptation is truly telling.
火中生莲终不坏，
The lotus grown in the fire will never be destroyed.
永生万众悟无生，
Yongshi transgressed, however, later he was enlightened to know
早
birth.
时成佛已经在。
Ever since then, he became a Buddha of today.
若是树心慎重，
If the seeds of the vehicle are to be persistently permeated,
配大辩论，
to carry off the wheel of great vow,
西处无意八风之中，
one needs to dwell amongst the 5 temptations and 8 winds,
不被五意八风所转，
yet be unaffected by the 5 temptations and 8 winds.
挺然特立如火中莲花终不坏也。
Standing upright and firm, like the lotus grown in the fire, will never be destroyed.
如北向果阳无为，
Just like Pei Xiangguo Yang Wu Wei,
东风山谷
Dongpo Shanggu,
无尽只招诸公贤。
Wu Jing Zhi Shao, all these masters.
深问古德，
A monastic asked an eminent one from the past.
欲界无常，
There is no meditative state in the realm of temptations.
大德因而言有禅定，
Why did the great sage said that there is meditative stillness?
德因
The sage said,
则离只知欲界无常，
Monk, you only know there is no meditative state in the realm of temptations.
不知禅界不一，
Don't know there are no temptations in the meditative state.
到这田地，
To arrive at this field,
自身产业皆与实相不相违背，
all that arise and are created do not contravene true form.
故应知见立也。
Hence, the saying is truly telling.
过去久远有个比丘名永师，
Eons ago, there was a monk called Yongshi.
慧如来境界有所缺乏，
He fell short of and broke the disciplinary codes and precepts of the Buddha.
羁绊是从根本治罪，
This was a transgression of the four most fundamental precepts.
以致清净，
Wishing to clear and purify himself,
即将三衣过在细向高声唱言。
he hanged his 3 robes over the pewter staff and sang at the top of his voice.
我犯重罪，谁为我忏？
I have transgressed, and who can pardon me?
如是唱言，至以金舍，
In this way, he sang until he reached a hermitage.
一尊者名曰比己多罗，
He met a venerable called Biji Duoluo.
令推罪性了不可得，
He showed that the nature of sin cannot be held onto.
永世比丘果然大悟，
The monk Yongshi suddenly opened his mind and was greatly enlightened.
即往南方世界成等正觉，
He then went on to the southern world to perfect the true awakening to equality.
号曰宝业如来，
He was given the title Treasure Moon Buddha
以至以今，
until today.
故曰永失犯众悟无生。
Hence the saying, Yongshi transgressed and later was enlightened to no birth.
早时成佛已经在，
Ever since then, he became a Buddha of today.
下来是助言禅师的发言。
Next, we'll share the Dharma teachings of Zhu Yuan Zen Master.
在行禅之见里，
Practicing Zen amidst temptation is truly telling.
3927，
3 times 9 is 27.
火力生莲终不坏，
The lotus grown in the fire will never be destroyed.
他将自有通仁爱，
One's home will have his own people who love him.
永失犯众无生。
Yongshi transgressed. However, later he was enlightened to no birth.
早时成佛已经在，
Ever since then, he became a Buddha of today.
七边杨柳影，
The reflection of the willow tree by the waterside
不爱沟舟行。
does not hinder the passing fishing boat.
在行禅之见里，
Practicing Zen amidst temptation is truly telling.
白日青天红霹雳，
Bright daylight, blue sky, thunderation.
摩波罗波罗蜜，
Maha, Prajna, Paramita,
甚深摩波罗波罗蜜。
most profound, Mahaprajna Paramita.
这个最后的总结，他说，在行禅之见里，什么意思？
In conclusion, practicing Zen amidst temptation is truly telling. What does this mean?
怎么样进入这个知见里？
How do we get into this state of viewpoint?
你看，白日青天红霹雳，
Bright daylight, blue sky, thunderation.
告诉我们摩波罗波罗蜜就是真理。
It's telling us Mahaprajna Paramita, it is the truth.
真正的是大的智慧，甚深波罗波罗蜜。
It is truly the great wisdom, the most profound Prajna Paramita.
这个禅师他们的悟境，给我们好好去学习、去体会，得到的这个受用。
This is the enlightened state of the Zen master. He gave this to us so that we can experience it for ourselves and ultimately benefit it for ourselves.
如果有人有问题，可以花一点时间来回答问题。
So if any of you have questions, please, we welcome you to raise them. Okay.
在你平时日常生活中要如何观念？
Okay, so the question here is that in our ordinary life, how do we meditate on no thought?
OK， 就是在我们日常生活怎么去观无念。
Yes, so the question again is, in our everyday life, how do we meditate on no thought?
如果我们就能够观，我们就能够不执着任何东西。
If we can meditate, then we won't be attached to anything.
如果我们没有去关照，我们的心就跟着我们的念头一直转。
If we do not practice meditative reflection, then our mind will follow our thoughts and be controlled by it.
所以经文才说呢：“人观无念者，则为入相否次。”
Therefore, the sutra says, those who can meditate on no thought is inclined to Buddha wisdom.
所以《金刚经》到最后，应作如是观。
As such, at the end of the Diamond Sutra, the sutra says, should just like this meditate and observe.
怎么如是观？
So how do we, just like this, meditate?
啊，《金刚经》告诉我们，世间的一切有为法，如梦幻泡影。
So the sutras tell us that all the compounded phenomenon of this world is just like a bubble, a shadow, an illusion,
如露亦如电。
just like a dew, like a lightning.
所以告诉我们，应作如是观。
It is pointing at us to tell us to meditate on it and observe it.
能够如是观，就能够不起一相，如如不动。
If we can truly meditate on it, then not a single form will arise in the mind. Then we can be just, unmoving.
怎么样做到如如不动？
How do we attain just, unmoving?
就要观无念。
That is, meditate on no thought.
所以人观无念者，即为相否次。
Thus, those who can meditate on no thought is inclined to Buddha wisdom.
在线上的人有问题吗？
Any questions from those on Zoom meeting?
很好，没有问题，就是无念的。
Wow, no questions. Excellent. That is no thought itself.
众生无边誓言多，
Sentient beings are numberless. We vow to save them all.
烦恼无尽誓言断，
Delusions are endless. We vow to cut through them all.
法门无量誓言解。
The teachings are infinite. We vow to learn them all.
佛道无上誓言成。
The Buddha way is inconceivable. We vow to attain it.
谢谢大家的聆听。
Thank you everyone for listening attentively to tonight's online Dharma talk.